I have stopped arguing with engines, and I am arguing with the distance.
A change of opponent then, and a considerably larger one to pick.
You promised we would ask tonight whether a distance can be bent.
I did promise precisely that, and I mean to keep it very carefully.
Careful is usually how you begin telling me no.
Tonight it opens the strangest yes I have ever handed you.
Then tell me, because I have been awake with this all night.
The rules of this universe do not forbid a shortcut between the stars.
They do not forbid one, not even a little.
They do not, and that one sentence is the reason tonight exists at all.
So somebody could actually build one.
That is an entirely different sentence, and the difference is our whole evening.
Then start with the first shortcut and go extremely slowly.
Picture the way across to the star next door as one long, plain, ordinary road.
A road so long that even light itself needs more than 4 whole years.
Every engine we have met so far has tried to hurry along that road.
And every single one of them found a wall waiting somewhere along it.
So the only question left standing is whether the road could be shorter.
You cannot make a road shorter by wishing hard at it.
Quite so, and yet space is not really that sort of thing, which is the opening.
What is space then, if it is not simply a very long road?
It is something that can be squeezed and stretched, and we have watched that happen.
We have actually watched somebody squeeze a piece of space?
Heavy things bend it, and careful people have measured that bending for a century.
So the bending part of this is not invented, it is measured.
The bending is ink, and tonight's idea borrows that ink and asks for far more.
Asks the universe for how very much more?
Squeeze the space in front of a ship, and let the space behind it stretch.
Then less of the journey would be left lying out in front.
That is the whole trick, and the ship never has to hurry to gain from it. It rests quite still inside a small pocket, going nowhere under its own power.
A ship that travels by sitting perfectly still is a very strange ship. But you told me that nothing can ever beat the speed of light.
Nothing can, and nothing here does, which is the elegant part of it.
How is that not an enormous piece of cheating?
Inside the pocket, the ship barely moves, so the rule is never broken.
And you said there were 2 shortcuts, not just one.
The second one does not shorten the road, it declines to use the road.
You cannot arrive somewhere without first going all the way there.
Imagine 2 far apart places joined directly with a short way through between them.
A door.
A door is the honest word, and the mathematics quietly allows doors.
A door joining which 2 places, and how far apart?
Any pair at all, however distant they sit along the ordinary way.
So you step in at home and step out beside another star.
That is what the drawings say, and they are proper, honest drawings.
Honest in what particular sense?
They are real answers to the equations that describe how gravity behaves.
Published properly and argued over and everything.
For nearly 40 years, by people who check each other's working very hard.
Then why has nobody ever stepped through one?
Because a door of that sort shuts itself the instant nothing is holding it open.
It shuts itself all on its own?
It closes unless something extremely peculiar props it, and we are coming to that.
So both of the shortcuts are allowed, at least in principle.
They are, and I would like you to feel how large that sentence is.
It feels enormous, and I do not entirely trust it.
Good, because trusting this one too far is how people get hurt by it.
But the universe genuinely does not say no to either of them.
This universe says no to a great many things, and not to these.
Not to these.
The rules do not say no, and that is tonight's real piece of wonder.
Then say the part you have very obviously been saving up.
Permission is not the same thing as a plan, and the plan is where it fails.
Fails where exactly?
Both shortcuts need one ingredient, and that ingredient is the whole trouble.
What sort of ingredient are we missing?
Stuff that pushes outward, where everything we have ever handled pulls inward.
Everything pulls inward?
Every scrap you have ever touched tugs gently on every other scrap, always.
And we would need the exact opposite of all that.
Just so, and in quantities nobody can seriously imagine gathering up.
How much of it have we found?
None, in any amount worth the word, anywhere anybody has ever looked.
None at all, in the whole enormous sky?
There are faint hints in tiny places that lean a little that way, and no more.
Faint hints are not quite the same as nothing.
They are not nothing, and they are nowhere near a doorway or a pocket.
So the missing piece is the ingredient itself.
It has been missing since the very first drawing, and it is missing still.
Suppose somebody found a bucket of it tomorrow.
Then the second wall arrives, and this one is built of arithmetic.
And how large is the bill for one pocket?
The earliest careful sums asked for more than everything the visible universe holds.
More than everything there is?
More than all of it, and of the opposite kind, which is a strange order to place.
Somebody must have trimmed that down since.
Cleverer shapes have cut it down enormously across 30 patient years.
So it is manageable now.
It is smaller now, and still beyond anything our whole world could ever gather.
Smaller and still completely impossible.
Smaller but still out of reach, and the honest papers say exactly that themselves.
Has anybody found a version that needs none of the strange stuff?
Somebody has, quite recently, and it is careful published work that I admire.
Then that is the answer, surely.
That version never travels faster than light, so it shortens absolutely nothing.
A pocket that goes slowly.
Beautiful to understand, and quite useless for crossing anything at all.
Give me the third wall, and please do not soften it.
Nothing of this kind has ever been built at any size by anybody, ever.
And nothing has ever been spotted out there.
No doorway has been seen, although people have genuinely searched the sky for one.
Searched for what exactly?
For the odd way light would bend around a doorway, and they have found none.
So nothing built and nothing seen.
That pair of facts is the honest flaw underneath the whole of tonight.
I'm sure I heard once that somebody made a tiny one.
Some years ago, a laboratory said its work resembled the beginnings of a pocket.
Resembled it?
Others checked the working and said kindly that a resemblance is not the thing.
And what happened after that?
After that, it went nowhere, which is how excitement outrunning evidence usually ends.
So which is this, ink or pencil?
Neither, and that is the piece I would like you to carry home.
There is something after pencil?
This one is a blank page, which is a different thing entirely.
Different how?
Pencil means somebody drew it and it might one day be built.
And a blank page?
It means nobody yet knows whether such a thing can exist at all.
That sounds a great deal like a door closing.
A blank page is not a closed door, and honest people keep it rather than tear it out.
So what does anybody actually do with a blank page?
This very year, careful people went back through every drawing anybody had made,
Checking all of them?
tidying up the mistakes and showing that several hopeful ones cannot work at all.
That sounds an awful lot like losing.
Crossing out a wrong drawing is a real gain, and the page stays open behind it.
So that is every way of going faster, and each one has a wall.
Sails, pulses, the perfect fuel, and now the distance itself.
4 honest answers, and not one of them ready.
That is a great deal more than most people are ever told about any of it.
And the rules still do not say no.
The rules do not say no, and permission has never once been a plan.
Then, if the crossing cannot be shortened or hurried, we simply have to survive it.
Next time we ask who could outlive a journey longer than a life, so subscribe and come with us.